Tonight we've got an update on a story that got thousands of our viewers talking. A few weeks back we told you about a 2-year-old boy stranded here in Indianapolis after his parents were deported. Well, tonight 13 Investigates reporter Sierra Putman's in studio after learning this family is now a step closer to reuniting.
Scott, 2-year-old Hendrik Pineda Tercios just got a passport. Now his parents are working to bring him to Honduras. When we last saw Jessica Tercios and her 3 minor children, there were tears and a wail. Jessica was off to the airport to catch a plane to Honduras. Without her 2-year-old, Hendrik did not have a passport.
I don't want to leave my child behind and they don't let me take him.
Jessica crossed the U.S. border back in 2012 and lived in the U.S. undocumented until her recent deportation. A reporting crew at Telemundo caught up with the family in Honduras to find the tears were still falling. But on a video call with 13 Investigates, Jessica smiles. Hendrik now has his travel documents.
He got his passport about a week ago.
A family member is now watching Hendrik. After our first story aired, the State Department reached out to me to get in contact with the family to help Hendrik get a passport. Just about a week later, he got one. It's good for 1 year.
She says she's very thankful to you because of everything that you've done. It kind of pushed through for the process.
A statement from the Department of Homeland Security states, Jessica exhausted all of her legal options to remain in the U.S. In this case, the parent chose to bring 2 of her children back to Honduras with her and to leave 1 child in the U.S. The family tells 13 Investigates they could not obtain a passport for the toddler because his father was detained by ICE and deported before he could complete important paperwork. A child cannot legally board a plane or cross the border without a passport. 13 Investigates reached out to ICE and the State Department to ask if they help detainees fill out these forms for their kids. Those agencies would not answer that specific question, but several jails in Indiana where detainees are held tell 13 Investigates they have notaries on staff to help ICE detainees fill out consent paperwork. Those services, however, are not always guaranteed.
To try to make sure that they do it in the United States if they're there, because when they're, like in her case in Honduras, it's more complicated.
Hendrik will fly to Honduras with a family friend. Each one-way ticket costs a few $100s.
With God's will, he'll be there within a month.
Jessica smiles, but she knows another separation is coming. She and her husband plan to send 9-year-old Natalie and 12-year-old Anthony back to Indianapolis this fall to attend school. The 12-year-old has autism and receives therapy in the U.S. he does not have access to in Honduras.
They don't have a future in Honduras, and in the United States, they can be whatever they want. They can be doctors, nurses, they can go to school, they can have a career.
All 3 children were born here, so they're U.S. citizens. When Hendrik is older, the family hopes to send him back too. Jessica is thrilled they're going to be reunited, but says Honduras is dangerous, telling me they live between 2 rival gangs and gang violence is part of why she left the country in the first place. Scott.
So Sierra, you first reported that all of this started because ICE suddenly picked up her husband, right?
And the family says they were surprised because they tell me he did not have a criminal history. We also did not find one when we checked.
And what are immigration's attorneys saying and suggesting that families do to avoid this kind of situation?
They're telling families with mixed legal status to develop a plan, designate someone to be a guardian for any children, and some attorneys are telling undocumented parents to get a passport for their kids now. It's a calculated risk, but one that could prevent a situation like we see here.
Thank you so much for bringing us this update. We know you'll stay on top of it. Sierra Putman with 13 Investigates.